Alright, so I'm gonna tell you guys about anti-psychiatry and why I'm against it. So you guys know that I've actually escaped the psychiatry system and left them, and now I'm free of any psychiatry drugs and any psychiatry treatment, and I'm doing okay. So basically, why I left them is because they didn't help me, and I'm okay on my own. And I know I do struggle, but the important thing about yourself struggling is that you can always, you know, learn how to cheer yourself on to have a better life, and also just having support from people you trust, just having someone to listen to you might help for a while. But when you come back to yourself, realize that you are much worthy than what you're experiencing, because if you get too stressed, your mood will start to act up, which is really bad, which is why it's important to just be okay with, like, comfortable with yourself. I know it's really difficult, but if you have a breakdown, when someone has a breakdown, it is going to be worse if they keep allowing themselves to, you know, to feel more stress unless you enjoy it. I'm not sure. But okay, so I want to share my experience that I've been on antidepressants, and because I was misdiagnosed, I still don't understand why I was prescribed it, and also because when I was close, I was really young, like this year 23. But I feel like, you know, uh it was a wrong drug. It is still a wrong drug, because when you look up what antidepressants do is that it's supposed to think that it fixes you, but actually when you start taking on the antidepressants, especially when you look at the box, it has like a warning sign. It has like warning, the black box label. You know what that means? When you first start taking the antidepressant, you literally feel more suicidal. I don't understand that. Luckily, I was fine. That's why, because I don't know why I swapped it, because maybe I was just feeling sad. But it's dangerous, especially for people who already have that. Oh, you know, like maybe someone admits you to a hospital, or you admit yourself to a hospital, like either for a checkup, or like obviously the psychiatrists, the doctors have more control over you than anything. It's just about control. And then like it's not a nice drug for me. It doesn't seem right. And obviously I was on too many drugs that I remember taking a lot of it at once, and I had like a lot of acid reflux, and yeah, it came back out. Yeah, it was just that horrible for me. But now I'm of it was years ago, and these psychotics that I took to supposedly help treat that my voices and hallucinations and stuff like that. It's just that really just it's bad, because it only makes you gain weight. That's the only thing it's famous for, gain weight. And I had a lot of nerve problems alongside taking antipsychotics. I'm not sure, because the whole like of my journey with those things, antipsychotics is the most worst. Like, I about antidepressants, maybe it's not really that problematic, but antipsychotics is really the worst. Like me being on them, right? Just gain a lot of weight. Like now I'm overweight, and last time I knew that I always felt like I wasn't skinny, because like, I was always just alongside, like, near overweight, like just near. But now I'm overweight now, so it's weird, because actually I'm fine. I have no health problems about like any just because I gain weight or something. But it's not really fair, especially like, I don't know, because for me, I knew that I have more fats on me now, but the whole point of it was really pointless. And right now it's like, because I'm of it, I feel like it got worse purposely. Like, I could be okay, but just suddenly they would come and talk to me, the celebrities. I hear the voice, or I hear them staring at me, and it's really really nerve-wracking. And they just want me to feel like really bad about myself, especially when they show me about the past, which, if you can, because I had my friends who are just quite like me, and they say, yeah, I had to experience the same thing. And you know, it's like when they are just with me, it's like they're like stalking me. They know me, and they're like they follow me like anything every single day, any point when they want. It's just like really intrusive to my mind. So I think, yeah, I think that it's really just like very very important to just know why I'm against psychiatry drugs, because it makes the antidepressants, I was okay, but I don't recommend it because it's suspicious. You have a black box label, and it's literally like just like suicidal increase. Why? Remember I told you my psychology professor said that, you know, like it's really just like uh, it doesn't help you, it just helps to feel good for a while. I'm not sure, but for me it was bad, but it doesn't fix anything, right? So maybe the point is that if people have a lot of stressors in their lives, they are prone to falling very sad, and sadness can think like it's depression. So it's definitely, they always maybe for me, I always think that it's important to distress or not make you just know what you can take and what you can't take, because alongside just being yourself, you also have responsibilities like a job or something like that, and it's a very heavy responsibility and stuff like that. So I'm just hearing the advice about that, really. And the antipsychotic that I took gave me like issues with getting periods, and I don't like periods, but I knew something was off, right? And also there's other things, just like weight gain, period, nerve problems that I never had before. And I was feeling okay. There was one point of time I did after my previous guy left me, right? I obviously was just not having any much symptoms. I was okay. I felt like I was curing, but obviously not 100%, because before I would fall asleep, like sometimes like it's a fact that sometimes people before they fall asleep they thought that someone called their name or something like that, right? But I remember that time I didn't have any of these symptoms, but I fell asleep. Then before I fall asleep, just before the peak of that, I heard someone just like breathing beside me, and it scared the shit out of me. And I just think that like now that it was scarier than having what I have now, because yeah, it's scary. So but it was only like definitely short-lived. So I'm saying is that I have never cured. I might have gotten worse, but I like where I am now. I'm okay. I know I struggle, but I'm a person, and I have to know what I can take and what I can't take to help myself in my life. And just, yeah. So for me, I'm against psychiatry drugs. My girl's best friend said that I should never come back into any drugs. It doesn't help me. And I have to admit that at that point of time, I was really broken, because when I took the drugs, I felt like I was so numb, I couldn't feel what I want to feel. I gained a lot of weight. My face was swollen. My face was having a lot of fat. But I wasn't overweight. See, now it's like I'm overweight just because I stopped like those drugs or something. My face was fat, and it was just again I told myself, because it's only because of that I've got a lot of fats, which is unnecessary. Having a significant change in your face is quite upsetting. Like even those people who are health conscious and they gain weight and they have a lot of fats. The thing I don't understand, why taking these drugs just cause you to gain weight. It's not okay. And for me, I just think I'm against it because it doesn't help me, and I was broken because I thought it would help me, but it only made me worse. That's how I was broken. And it's how people who are just like me, they turn to drugs, something like that, because it's really very nerve-wracking to live every day of my life, feel like I'm stalked, or having people telling some random voices telling me this, or random things appearing to me as a hallucination, as what people would say. Yeah, I shared with you guys that I had codependency with sleeping pills because I really just felt like my life was meaningless and I didn't respect myself. But now I'm trying to slowly regain myself. I know who I am and feel what I want. And my voices only saved me one time, which is like nice because some of the voices are nice, which I told you guys about. So I'm glad because right now I'm just like I have been clean from those for a lot of months, I think, and I never plan to go back on them. I mean, I did relapse once, but I threw it away because I knew the sickening taste of sleeping pills, and I realized that, hey, you know what? I can't really, escape my life. I had to face the fact that I have these. I was just really just insecure because it was nerve-wracking for me that I have to face these unsettling symptoms. But I'm glad that I stay away from it, and I plan to stay away from sleeping pills for a long time. For just to share, I'm okay now. I don't like sleeping pills, but because of sleeping pills, and I'm not sure if it's because of other drugs that they put me on, I literally feel like whenever I have like heavy exercise, right, or like not just exercise, like if I run on a treadmill, right, when I step off it, I get really dizzy, which is why I don't really like exercising in general. But maybe, yeah, just maybe other things that help me just move about my way. I just don't really care because I feel happy in my body, and that's the only thing that matters. But yeah, so basically it left me a mess, and it almost, because I was reckless on sleeping pills, I almost lost my life. But I recovered from that in a second because I still kept breathing, and I'm lucky that I didn't faint or anything like that, but I almost did because because I was reckless, because I didn't care about myself like that kind of time, and because I've learned that I shouldn't really torture myself, because I really came from a troubled childhood. But I was discovering myself, I realized how bad it is to, I'm still learning how to respect myself, but all I know is that I'm never gonna go back on sleeping pills because, or any drugs, because it just ruins me, and I can't go back to something that really just makes me think that it will help me, because it doesn't. And now I'm just learning how to have healthy feelings, how to, yeah, and I'm okay. But the problem is real. The problem is the things that I'm facing is real. People might be similar to me, we're not exactly the same, but the issue is real. And these people like me deserve to feel safe. We don't deserve to have all this. Anyway, I'm just telling you guys how my opinion, and you're entitled to have yours. But I just want everybody to know what is going on and just stay safe.